All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. We are going to talk about the college basketball tournament once again. But before we do college, I just want to talk about something that happened yesterday that looks like a sign for the NBA, and it's giving me deja vu about 2016. And actually, before I hit that, I see somebody in the chat has said Warriors winning tonight. The riddle is very easy to solve. Steph Curry's out, but this was one of the days that there was always a huge Warriors riddle with Steph Curry, February 27th, 227. And that's because 22 divided by 7 equals pi, and Steph Curry's birthday is Pi Day, March 14th. Pi is 3.14. Since 1988, that's when they've celebrated Pi Day. That happens to be the same day Steph Curry was born, if I'm not mistaken, March 14th, 1988. But he's out, so it'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do tonight against the Lakers. I'm sure Call saw that the Warriors can pick up their 13th win, and that number does play a lot with LA. LA's 13. There is a narrative on the board though for the Lakers, and I just looked at the surface. I didn't do a full decode here, but just if the Lakers win tonight and beat the Warriors as they're expected to do, they will get their 45th win. And geometry does equal 45. And again, geometry and pi go hand in hand. But I hear what you're saying with the 13th win. And I probably should have done more decoding on that because if the Warriors do upset tonight, that would obviously be a nice payout. But I would do a little bit more homework if you're just looking at that 13 thing. Because, yeah, 13 in LA plays a lot. But I didn't do the due diligence on it. So if you already made the bet, I'm cheering for you. But here's what I want to say about the NBA. Yesterday in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's the front runner in the NBA right now. Best record in the entire league. This year they have the Democratic Convention in their city. And remember, in 2016, the Republican Convention was in Cleveland at the same basketball stadium the Cavs play in. And that year, the Cavs won the finals. That was the year they came back from down 3-1, won it on the real King James's birthday. So this year, the Democratic Convention is in the Bucks basketball stadium after the NBA Finals. And check this out, the date of this big shooting in Milwaukee by the numbers. Again, there's a lot to say here. I'm just going to skip over some of this stuff. But here's the big one. The shooting came 100 days from the start of the NBA Finals in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 100. And it happened on a date with 48 numerology. Milwaukee Bucks is 48. And it happened on the 57th day of the year. NBA Finals 57. So this reminds me a lot of the Kansas City bar shooting October 6th, where they reported 5 injured, 4 dead. And the name of the bar was 120. And it was 120 days, a span of 120 days to the Super Bowl. So this looks very familiar. And the Bucks scored 108 points the night prior. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is also 108, so symbolic win. And I do know that a lot of you have reached out to me ever since the Lakers-Celtics game, which was played Sunday, February 23rd. A lot of you are feeling that that's going to be the finals now because you saw how it was on the 54th day of the year and Kobe beat Bryant's 54. And the Lakers and Celtics are a historic rivalry. And the Lakers picked up their 131st win in that game, a championship number. Again, to me, based on that riddle, the Lakers getting their 131st win on the 54th day of the year, to me, that's just another really good sign that the Lakers will be in the championship. I don't think it necessarily means that they're going to play against the Celtics. If I'm wrong about the Bucks, I mean, Celtics would be a team at the top of the list in the East, obviously. But again, early in the season, we documented so many riddles going back and forth between the Lakers and Bucks that were perfectly synced with the NBA Finals. And then since that, we've seen the death of Kobe and his daughter Gianna, which looks a lot like Giannis. And then the All-Star game was LeBron versus Giannis, and it was in tribute to Kobe. And again, Kobe died the day after LeBron passed him in points scored, and the all-time leader in points scored is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who played for the Lakers and Bucks. So, I mean, I'm still there. If you guys like Lakers-Celtics now more because of what happened on the 54th day of the year, I mean, you got your own mind. You could be right. But this right here is giving me deja vu of 2016, just with the political convention and the championship. And again, this is how it is: news and sports. So to me, this is a strong sign for Milwaukee. 57th day of the year, everything else. And I posted these notes the other night. I added a little bit more to them after I posted them. But the star player for Oregon, the women's team, again, I've been liking Oregon for a number of reasons to win the women's championship this year. Keep in mind the women's championship will be played on April 5th, the day before the men's game in New Orleans. And April 5th can be written 5-4, like 54. New Orleans equals 54. This was the only current women's. Actually, you know what? She was the only current player that spoke at the memorial, men or women. And they did have the former college women's star, Diana Taurasi, speak. If you missed the Kobe Bryant memorial, they had the former college women's star, Diana Taurasi, speak, who played at UConn. And then they had the current Oregon star, Sabrina Ionescu, speak. And then after her, they had the UConn women's basketball coach speak. So they went UConn, Oregon, UConn. And remember, when I first caught wind of Oregon women's team possibly being in the championship and winning it, it was right after that Oregon-UConn game that happened actually while I was down in New Orleans doing the campaign down there. And that was the same night they put out the big clue for Kansas as well. But the same day that she gave this speech, she became the first player to get 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, 1,000 rebounds. And a lot of people did a headline where it just says 2K, 1K, 1K, like 211, like Black Mamba 211. And this girl, her birthday is December 6th, 12/6, like 126. Of course, Kobe died on 1/26. In her speech, she said she studied game film of Gianna Bryant, which sounds like somebody wrote her speech for. I mean, really? I mean, I don't believe it. But anyway, Gianna Bryant's 126. The championship's in New Orleans, 126. And just go over a few more of these things here. Again, in her speech, she talked about how at this game right here, January 11th, 19, how Kobe Bryant came in and surprised them and spoke with them. And in that specific game, Oregon won with 93 points. Her name is 93. Oregon is also established on a date with 93 numerology. Special number that represents Saturn. Nike's headquartered in Oregon. So anyway, she brought up this game in the speech, and I went back and looked. I was like, wow, look, they scored 93 points that game like her name. She talked about how she wanted to win the championship. And in her speech, she didn't bring up that she didn't win the championship last year, but she just left it on how she wanted to win the championship. So I'm thinking that's a good sign for this year. And then from the date of her speech at the Kobe Memorial to the championship game in New Orleans is 41 days later. And Kobe Bryant, of course, is 41, so is Memorial. Who spoke before her was Diana Taurasi, who calls herself the White Mamba. White Mamba equals 41 in the same cipher, like Kobe Bryant, like Memorial. So she spoke. Then the Oregon Star spoke. And again, 41 days to the championship. And recall, earlier this year on February 3rd, now that I think about that, that was 8 days after Kobe's death. He used to wear number 8. But in that game, Oregon won with their signature 74 points. They gave UConn their worst ever loss at home, losing by 18. When I say at home and their worst ever loss, I mean in their current stadium that they play in. I still remember I was listening to ESPN that night, and I think it was Scott Van Pelt who said it. But he goes, Oregon gave UConn their worst loss in their stadium, at their home stadium that they've played in for 18 years, losing by 18. And I was like, look at that. But anyhow, Oregon won with their signature 74 that night. And from that game to the championship in New Orleans is 62 days later. And Connecticut is 62 if this ended up being the championship. I really like Oregon to be there. I need to still think about who they might face. I mean, it could be Connecticut, especially after what they did at the Memorial, and especially the way this game syncs up. Again, here's White Mamba and Memorial. And just like right here, ESPN, Sabrina, Diana, and Gino. So, UConn player, Oregon player, UConn coach. And Diana Taurasi, born in 1982. Remember, the first ever women's tournament was in the year 1982. And for the men, this will be the 82nd tournament ever. And she's 37 years old. Bryant numbers right now. But then what was funny is the same day that Sabrina gave the speech at Kobe's thing, Oregon beat Stanford, and notice they kept Stanford on 24 wins on the 24th, like Kobe wore number 24, and they picked up their 26th win. And Bryant equals 26. And something that came to my attention after I did this post, and I should have updated it, but in this same game, she got her 26th career triple-double. She got her 26th career triple-double. Oregon got their 26th win. And, of course, Bryant equals 26, who died on the 26th. So I'll be shocked if Oregon's not in the women's championship. I like them to win it. I still need to do more research to figure out who's the right opponent for them to play. And realize this was a big game. They won at Stanford, who's pretty much ranked the same as they were going into the game, and they won on Stanford's court. Stanford went down with 66 points. It was a date with 66 numerology. Oregon won with their signature 74 again. Remember, out of the 50 states, just using the alphabetic order, only one state sums to 74, and it's Oregon, the 33rd state. Just like how when they had the Kobe Bryant Remembrance Game, which was in Los Angeles where Damian Lillard went off, the Blazers played, the team from Oregon. So I think there's something about that too. Having Damian Lillard, Portland Trail Blazers from Oregon in the Kobe Bryant Remembrance Game, and then this Oregon player speaking at his remembrance. But I'm liking Oregon more and more. And notice she's got that magic number too, right? It's 2020. She's wearing 20. 2K, 1K, 1K, Black Mamba. So, really liking Oregon in the women's tournament. And here's the thing that's really creeping me out right now. Jeremy White, the man who came down and met me in Louisiana and helped me do the ground campaign, and he calls in a lot. He might even call in tonight. I don't know. He moved to the Virgin Islands to do work with his cousin right now, but he texted me this article, and he's like, look at this. It's another Louisville thing. And Jeremy White digs up a lot of stuff. I'm sure a lot of you know who Jeremy White is, calls in regularly, does good research. We use his blog sometimes. He has a lot of documentation there. I have it linked in the March Madness notes cheat sheet. But this article about these 64-year-old Louisville natives are finally celebrating their Sweet 16. It's about 3 women born on Leap Day, so they only have a birthday every 4 years. So that's why they're celebrating their Sweet 16 at age 64. But think about it. This story coming, just before the tournament starts, Louisville again. Just like how the other week it was the death of the 2 Louisville mothers who were college athletes. One went to Louisville, one went to Syracuse. That story came out right before the Louisville-Syracuse game. Now we get this story, right? And they mention in the article how one of the women lives in Atlanta now. See this? Kathy Braum has achieved quite a lot before her Sweet 16. She's the main focus of this article. The Louisville native is at the point in her life where she feels truly settled. She has a good job, a house in northern Atlanta, 2 daughters. Again, the championships in Atlanta this year. These are these types of news stories that are giving you clues for the tournament. But here's what really creeps me out. You read ahead with this story, and then look at this. This is from the same article. I checked in with Jeremy White, associate professor at mathematics in Spalding University School of Natural Science. And Jeremy actually looked into it to see if there really is a Jeremy White that teaches there, and there is, right? But notice Spalding is 82, like this is the 82nd tournament. And Jeremy did acknowledge that Jeremy White's a pretty common name, but I mean, seriously? Like, seriously? I have trouble believing that's a coincidence. You know what I mean? This is a guy who's followed me for a long time, always helped out with this research. And then this article, which is clearly in reference to the college basketball. Jeremy's been doing a lot of research on Louisville. This has just got me going. You got to be kidding me. By the way, this story came out on the 56th day of the year. The name Brahm is 56. And then it says if you rewind to 1956, because all these women were born in 56, right? So this entire story is news by the numbers. It's clearly a riddle with the college tournament. And then the Jeremy White thing, it weirds me out. Now, something interesting I did notice about Jeremy White's name is it equals 60, and Leap Day is the 60th day of the year when it happens. But I think this is a little tribute to Jeremy White and the great research he's doing on Louisville. So the only thing that really weirded me out, though, about this is the fact that Louisville does not play on Leap Day, which is this Saturday. So I'm going to be paying attention to those games, but Louisville plays the next day, Sunday. So Saturday's Leap Day, and then Sunday's March 1st. I'm surprised they're not scheduled for that day in light of this news story. But no doubt about it, this is a tournament story right here. So, again, this is what they do every year. Again, we're going to keep monitoring it. Louisville's been kind of a roller coaster lately. They still got the squad that could easily be in the championship game. Remember, Louisville Cardinals equals 82. 82nd tournament. If they did win the championship this year, they would get their 82nd win in the tournament. It's possible, so. Anyway, be safe out there, Jeremy. Looks like you got your own special tribute for the tourney. Now, a game I really had my eye on was this Florida State-Louisville game the day of the Kobe Bryant Memorial, because remember, we've been talking about how Florida State has number 24 on their team, their star player, who has the same birthday as Kobe Bryant, August 23rd. And notice Florida State beat Louisville with 82 points on this day. Bryant also equals 82, like Louisville Cardinals. They became 24-4 on the 24th. But Devin Vassell, he wears that number 24, and again, he's got that same birthday as Kobe. So he wasn't the leading scorer in this game. I would have had to have guessed that he would have been the leading scorer prior to the game going in, just thinking about the way it lined up. But he did go 5 for 8 from the field, which stands out. Kobe Bryant's 58. And Devin Vassell, his name is 144. And Louisville fell to 14-4 in the ACC in this game. So I don't think that's an accident. But Florida State, they are a very interesting team. Out of all the coaches, again, their coach has the most interesting connection with the championship date. And a Kansas-Florida State championship or a Kansas-Louisville, again, we've talked about why both of these scenarios can make a ton of sense. That's why once the seasons are over and the coaches' win and loss records are set, it's going to make our job a lot easier because we'll be able to look and go, okay, this coach, this makes so much sense if he does this. And just one more time about the Florida State coach, what's impressive about him is that the championship is on his 247th day of his age. Atlanta, Georgia is 247. That's where the championship is. And he's 71 years old right now. His name, Leonard Hamilton, equals 71, like March Madness. And when you run it in reverse, his name is 82, like the 82nd tournament. And here he is getting that big 82-point win over the most 82 team in the thing. Now, I looked more at this deadly bus crash the day that San Diego State got their first loss. And, you guys, I'm going to get back to daily decoding, but I just feel like a game like this, there was an awesome riddle here. Runnin' Rebels is 151, and notice they became 15-1 in the Mountain West Conference by losing this game. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the bus crash the bus crash that day. 3 killed, 17 hospitalized. Remember, that's the start date of March Madness, March 17th, 3/17. Runnin' Rebels is also 173, so 17/3. Like what was in the headline. So like I said, this bus crash story that came out that morning before the game, it was another one of these riddles for sports. Because over the years, we've documented so many of these stories about bus crashes, train crashes, and how they're synced up with sports. And it seems like they do this more with college basketball than anything else. The buses and the trains, year after year, the same type of stuff. So, what else is interesting about this story is Interstate 15. It happened off Interstate 15. Atlanta is 15. And let's see. They said it happened in the area of Palamesa, which equals 68 like basketball. Technically, now there's 68 teams in the March Madness tournament because they have those first two games that are the 4 extra teams, like the playoff, to set the field to 64. And from the date of this story, from the date of this crash to the championship is 44 days. And again, because we got the big clue from Donald Trump on the day of the Super Bowl, where he congratulated Kansas, and there was all this native ritual with the Super Bowl, with the Chiefs winning, that's why we've been talking about the Seminoles or the Aztecs could be a team that could be in the championship because they're the teams that carry the native symbolism. And Kawhi Leonard played for San Diego State, and from the championship for college to his birthday this year is a span of 85 days. And again, basketball's 85, and Atlanta, Georgia's 85. And again, the first March Madness was in 1985. So Kawhi, he won the Kobe Bryant MVP award this year at the All-Star Game, and from Kobe's death to the championship is 71 days. Again, March Madness is 71, so no doubt Kobe Bryant's death is part of this March Madness ritual, as we were just talking about with the Oregon player. And I'm sure the riddle's there as well with the college basketball. It's just hasn't been as easy to identify yet, unless it's something like that Florida State player. So, again, Kansas is still the team that I'm most confident about being in the championship game for the men, trying to figure out the team that makes the most sense for them to face. And it's possible we won't be able to, or at least I won't be able to figure that out until the tournament's set and we have the seedings. And we know the coaches' win-loss records, because a lot of times that is the most important clue you can have, like last year with Virginia. Okay, let me see. I don't need that. Okay, so one other thing we need to go over. I added the Dayton information here because Dayton is another interesting team. So again, we've covered all these other teams and coaches, but I just want to go over the Dayton stuff. Okay, so Dayton's in their 115th season. That kind of makes me think of Kobe Bryant because, again, we've talked about all the Boulay connections with Kobe's death, and the Boulay's 115 years old in months right now. So that stands out a little bit. If Dayton won the championship, it just doesn't sound right to me, Dayton winning it, but we'll see. If Dayton did win it, though, they would have 25 wins. Dayton does equal 25. So that's one thing they have going. Flyers equals 85 like basketball, like Atlanta, Georgia. Again, first March Madness in 1985. Their star player for Dayton, his full name equals 115. And again, it's their 115th season. The coach, Anthony Grant, nothing really screams out about the way his birthday lines up. The championship would be 9 days before his upcoming 54th birthday. His name, Anthony Grant, is 59 like Atlanta, Georgia. So it's about the only thing. His name, Gematria, goes with the city, but the birthday doesn't really scream out the alignment. And their star player, the championship is 33 days after their star player's birthday. Atlanta on the 33rd parallel. Championship is 137, the 33rd prime. ATL's 33, so 33 is a number that shows up a lot. Their second player, Jalen Crutcher, he's their second star. The championship's 263 days. I was supposed to say birthday. I don't know what I wrote there. Birth daddy. 263 days after his birthday. And that's the 56th prime number. Dayton Flyers is 56. Crutcher, his surname's got the Gematria 48 like Atlanta. And then their next star players, I couldn't really find much information for. They're a smaller school, so they don't have as many big names. I overlooked that last time. Let me just see how far away Lithonia, Georgia is from Atlanta. Lithonia, GA to Atlanta, GA. So very close. 18.8 miles. Let me just check him out real quick. I'll update the notes here. Rodney Chapman. Okay. 141. 4. There's nothing really screaming about that, but he does live right outside. It just seems so often you get a story about a guy who's close to where the championship, all his family and friends are there to watch. But there's a few schools that have that type of thing going on, so. Okay. Well, I hit all the main points that I wanted to hit for new information tonight. So what I want to do now is open it up to calls. I know there's a gentleman in South Carolina who has a lot that he's been decoding and he wants to share. So I know he'll be calling in tonight. His name's Trey. But if you do want to phone in, the number is 509-731-0567. Here, let me plug it in the chat real quick. Again, 509-731-0567. For the guy who asked the question, do I do daily picks? For over a year, I was doing this every single day of the week. But right now, I am finishing my book. As soon as I'm done, I'll get back to the daily grind. Or maybe I'll go back to like doing it 5 days a week. I was doing it 7 days a week for over a year, and it got really exhausting. So when I do come back, I don't know if I'm going to do every single day. I might do like 5 days, a lot of games, and then maybe just throw out a few games on the 2 days I don't do it. But I will get back to it. So right now we're going 2 days a week. We're going Thursday and Sunday and really focusing on the tournament and covering a few other games here and there. So what's up, caller?
Hey, by the way, awesome work on the last few days with that whole Kobe thing stuff. Amazing stuff. Just incredible. Just you're bringing that San Diego State game. They fell to 26-1, by the way.
Yeah, because that's like the day Kobe died, 26/1.
All right, so I'll try to be quick. I got some pretty good stuff here, I think. You saw the fight. You see the singer sing after the fight? Tyson Fury.
Who sung?
He sung.
Oh.
He sung American Pie.
Really?
American Pie was sung by Don McLean. Don McLean lines up with Cardinals and Lawrence, 81, 36, 162, and 45. Okay? That song came out in 1971, and if you want to throw Florida State in there, after that song came out, Florida State went to their only finals against UCLA.
Oh, really? Florida State went to the finals that year after the song came out. That's a good catch. Well, based on that type of thing, I noticed that the song he came out to, Crazy, old song, that woman died at a young age in a plane crash. So there could be a clue there with that as well.
Okay, so that was crazy. He sang the whole song with the crowd. I'm like, I've never seen anything like it before. So I knew there was something there. And let me go Kansas. I don't know if you know, Danny Manning won an 88 season, right? They just beat Duke the other night, and they scored 113 points. 113-101.
Okay. Huh.
So that's 26 and 113, right, Kobe? New Secretary of Defense for the government, Marcus Garrett. Same name as the player on Kansas. He's new Secretary of Defense is 193 and 85.
Okay. Huh.
Now, I talked about the Wayback movie. You did a great job in the movie. The movie Hoosiers came out in 1985 or 86. The date between that day and the Wayback movie is 113 days.
Oh, wow. Huh.
And that year, the Hoosiers won the championship.
Okay.
After the movie came out.
Okay.
I mean, what are the odds, right?
That's kind of like the Kansas movie. Again, for people, the movie that's coming out with Ben Affleck, The Way Back. It equals 36. It comes out March 6th, 3/6. This will be the 36th March Madness, 82nd tournament, but 36th edition of March Madness. And it comes out 11 days before the tournament starts. Kansas equals 11, and it comes out 31 days before the championship, and 31's the 11th prime. So again, that movie's really well coordinated. It's set in Kansas. Okay, go ahead.
So that movie, the Hoosiers came out 11-14. So 11-14 to 3-6 is 113 days.
Huh.
And then the Hoosiers won that year. What are the odds, right?
Right.
By the way, Hoosiers is 108-45, 108-45.
Huh. Okay.
Pretty interesting. All right, the other night I'm watching San Diego State because I've been paying attention. They have this weird play, flagrant one foul. It was like a dopey foul. If you watch the play, you know how it works.
Right.
So I'm like, what's going to happen after the game? Well, San Diego State goes on this run and wins 66-60, like 126. Flagrant one is 113-58. Kobe Bryant is 113-58.
Huh. Okay. Huh.
Now, have you seen Malachi Flynn play, or do you know what he looks like?
He looks pretty white, but yeah, he's very interesting because he has that 206 connection, and he's from just south of Seattle, the 206 area code. And again, Mercedes-Benz Stadium's 206, and March Madness is 206. He's a San Diego State's star player. So,
You know what he looks like?
who do you think?
Steph Curry.
He sort of does, yeah. He's lighter, but yeah, okay.
Well, he's got the Steph Curry. Now we have Davidson in the tournament, right? They're in a run. That's what Curry took them to the Final Four or the Final Eight. I forget which one they did. Right?
I don't think they made it to the Final Four. I think they might have went out in the Elite Eight.
Final Eight. Right. So the span between Steph Curry's birthday and Malachi Flynn is 57 days.
Okay.
He signed after transferring from Washington State Cougars, by the way, is 126, 5/7/2018.
Huh.
I mean, remember now we have that whole Joe Burrow thing with him signing the day that guy died, right?
Right.
Malachi Flynn is 57 days. Their birthdays are apart. Interesting thing about Malachi Flynn, though, is if you go to his Twitter page, it's all Kobe Bryant. Everything.
I really do like San Diego State to be in the Final Four at least. I'm pretty sure they'll be in the Final Four.
And then don't forget the other Malachi Flynn numbers. He's 118, 55, 206, and 52.
Right.
We know the 118 numbers of March Madness number, right?
118 and 206 both are, right.
And then 55 is what? Is
Well,
that the Boulay number?
It is a Boulay number. The Kobe Bryant Memorial is on the 55th day of the year. Yeah,
So
I just got to make sure people know this. This is a really awesome example if you're just trying to wake people up to this knowledge. The letters for Boulay using the Greek alphabet, sigma, pi, phi, those letters with the Greek alphabet are 18 plus 16 plus 21, which is 55. And then in English, sigma, pi, phi equals 55, and Boulay equals 55. And remember, Kobe died on the 257th day of the Boulay's age, which is the 55th prime, and Los Angeles Lakers is 257. And then they had the memorial on the 55th day of the year, and his wife's birthday is May 5th, 5/5. So, anyway, just go ahead. Want to share that.
So Malachi Flynn, his numbers are pretty fascinating. 118, 55, 206, and 52. Now,
Right.
52. Isn't that the Minnesota number? 52? What is that number?
that's a Minnesota number. I mean, it connects to other things, too, but that's a big one with Minnesota.
So I bet you, watch San Diego State go play through Minnesota or something, right? That'll be a sign, right? You know.
That could make sense, yeah.
And then I guess interesting, the Flint number, just his last name is interesting. 71, 26, 64, and 19.
Sure, yeah. March
20,
Madness.
26 game and ball and all that, 64.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one other thing I had from Kansas, because I had that Danny Manning game and Marcus Garrett being the new Secretary of Defense, he's also plays, like I said, for Kansas, is the phrase they use is rock chalk, Jayhawks. Have you ever heard them say that?
What's the phrase again?
They say rock chalk.
Roth?
Rock, R-O-C-K.
Oh, rock chalk. Okay.
Like the rock.
Sure.
Well, rock chalk is 82, 37, 161, and 53. So 82. But Florida State, so I think Florida State being in their only, you got to confirm that with me. They got their only championship after that movie came out, and it was against UCLA. It's the only time Florida State's been to the finals.
And remind me, what movie was it again? It was the song he sung.
American Pie.
Yeah, the song
Something
American
like
Pie. Right. Yeah, I will look that up, but that's a good one.
So, and then the numbers, and you talked about Jeremy White thing. My son played against a team this year. You talked about your high school basketball player. He played against the Lawrence Cardinals. Now, Lawrence is 81, 36, 135, and 45, like where Kansas is from. Cardinals is 81, 36, 162, and 43. And then the song, Don McLean is 81, 36, 162, and 45.
Huh, okay.
So all those numbers are being shared, and we played the Lawrence Cardinals.
Huh.
the Kansas is from Lawrence and the Cardinals. But the movie I thought to me was interesting. It was 113 days apart, and they won that year, the Hoosiers, after the movie came out. I mean, did anybody think that was weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
But all right, man.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Let go. Thanks.
Okay, just a reminder about San Diego State. They did become 26-0 the same day that Kawhi Leonard won the NBA MVP, and it was the Kobe Bryant Award, and Bryant's 26. And San Diego State, when you abbreviate the state, has all the exact same gematria as Kobe Bryant. The exact same. So, again, they are a very interesting team, and part of the reason I'm torn on who's going to face Kansas, because there's some good riddles with Florida State, San Diego State, Louisville, and even others. But that's why once we see the coaches' records, once they set the bracket and everything, and we know exactly what the coaches' records will be going in. And I can't give up on Duke yet either. I mean, Duke is another team just because Coach K does have that chance to get that 6th championship in the same building that Belichick and Saban did. The two differences are they were football coaches, he's basketball, and they were both 66 years old when they picked up their 6th championship, so it was like a 666 thing. Coach K, obviously a little bit older. So, but yeah, can't write Duke off either, so. Anyway. I'm going to take this call, and then I'm going to try to call Trey back because he was trying to call in. What's up, caller?
Yeah, Zach. For Dayton, there's one of their star players is Obi Toppin.
Right. He is their star player.
And his birthday is March 4th, which is 3-4.
Right.
And his birthday is 34 days to the championship game on 4-6 and 4 weeks and 6 days.
Well, wait a minute.
If I'm not mistaken.
His birthday's the 64th. It would be a span of 34 days. You're right. It's also 33 days after his birthday. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
All right. And he was born on 3-4, so I thought that was interesting.
Sure. Now, hold on. Are you seeing anything in the 3-4 with regards to this tournament besides just the span of 34 days?
I'm seeing 139, like the Mercedes-Benz.
Okay. 139, the 34th prime. Gotcha.
I mean, this doesn't make that much sense, but Dayton's the 34th. Ohio's the 34th largest state. If you look it up, that's what it says.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing there. Did you calculate Bill Self's birthday? I mean, the championship game to Bill Self's birthday?
Yeah, it's in here in the notes. I know he's
266, like the Pope.
I'm checking. I know he's 57 years old right now. The championship is 101 days after his birthday, which is the 26th prime, and Jayhawks is 26. And again, if he wins it, he'll get his 54th tournament win, like Super Bowl 54, where Trump congratulated Kansas. So.
Wait, but what is it to, like from 4-6 to his upcoming birthday?
Oh, to his birthday after that. Well.
Yeah, look at that.
Well,
I find that very interesting.
It would be
266.
A span of 266 or 265 days. Okay, 266 Pope number.
And the 38 weeks is 38 weeks on the a span of 38 weeks exactly.
Okay.
So now one more thing, Maryland, right? They could. Mark Turgeon, right? If he's on 97 losses, and that's the 25th prime, and of course he was born on February 5th, 25, and his name equals 25 as well. If he wins the next 3, he'll be 206 and 97 to finish off the season before the conference tournament starts.
So those are the types of things we'll be looking for. I mean, if he's 206 and 97 at the end of the season, I was like, wow, those would be good numbers. The championship on the 97th day of the year, Maryland's 97th season, Mercedes-Benz Stadium 206. So yeah, those are the types of things I'll be looking for once their records are set.
Yeah, because that 97 seems to play a lot with him because when he was with Texas A&M, he won 97 games.
Huh.
And when he was with Jacksonville State, he won 25 games, which is, he was born on 2-5. It's 25 right there. And he could be, 15-9 in the NCAA tournament overall if he wins, if Maryland wins the tournament.
I'll be looking for that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, and one last thing. Dayton Flyers is 1946, the day Trump was born, English extended. Dayton Flyers. 1946 is the day Trump was born.
You mean the year he was born?
The year he was born, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So just a few points there. All right, that's all I got. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to call back. Our man Trey in South Carolina, because I know he's been doing a lot of his own decoding and he wanted to share something with everybody. So let me see if I can get him here. Hey, man. All right, are you ready to do your decode?
I'm about 10 minutes away from the house, and I'm going to call you back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
All
right, see you. Okay. This is funny to me right here. You see how Dayton beat George Mason with 62 points? Mason equals 62 at the alphabetic order. They got their 26th win in that game. They always love to do rituals with George Mason. Let's see. Wake Forest. Duke just losing a lot of games they shouldn't this year. Double overtime, 113-101. We got a caller from Maryland. Maryland?
Yo, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
I don't know if you caught this or not. I came into the live stream a little late, but there was a mayor from Wilton Manors, Florida, that died on Tuesday the 26th at the age of 41.
Huh. Wait,
so his name is Justin Flippen. Just regular Justin and then Flippen.
Justin Flippen, huh?
Yep.
That reminds me of last year, Justin Fairfax. All right, I'll have to look into that.
All right, man. Just wanted to toss that to you.
Before you go, do you know where Wilton Manors is in Florida? Is it near any big city there?
It's Broward County. It's South Florida.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. All right. Yeah, just scanning over some of these games. So, again, the day of the Kobe Memorial, Kansas got a big win that day. And not a surprising win, but just paying attention to what happened on the Kobe Memorial Day. We've seen some riddles with Kansas and Louisville playing on the same day. Remember on the date with 54 numerology, exactly 54 days before the championship game, Kansas won and Louisville lost. And there were some synchronicities in what the records became. And again, Super Bowl 54, Trump congratulated Kansas. So on Kobe Bryant Memorial Day, Kansas won again and Louisville lost to Florida State, who's another very interesting team. I'm surprised Kansas didn't score 82 points. Maybe sometimes they screw up the script. Anyway. And then, so the games played the last day that we were having our live stream. Maryland lost that day. Let's see. Two teams with 81 points, huh? Okay, but yeah, this Saturday, Kansas and Kansas State again. This was the brawl game. And I want to go back. What was the day of that brawl? Let's see. Remember, their star player got the 12-game suspension in the Big 12. That was January 21st. I just want to see how many days it is from that game to them playing again on Leap Day. Whoops. All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
All right.
Doing all right tonight?
Say it again?
I say you doing all right tonight.
Oh, yeah. Doing all right, man. Excited to hear what you got for us.
Yeah, so I was just saying first, remember the other day I was telling you about the Kobe Bryant Day, and so I started measuring from the distance from days from certain, people who was around Kobe.
Okay.
So the first day, I would like to talk about 3 dates, which is 4-1, and the start of the finals, which is 6-4, which I'm going to talk about next. And the third date is a special date that I'll talk to after I talk about the first two.
Okay.
But on Kobe Bryant Day, it's 4-1. That's the 92nd day of the year. From Beyonce's birthday, which is 9-4, to Jay-Z's birthday, which is 12-4, is 92 days, a span of 92 days. From LeBron's mother's birthday, which is 2/4, to 4-1 is a span of 58 days. From Kobe Bryant Day to Beyonce's birthday is 157 days, 5 months and 4 days. From Kobe's death to Kobe Bryant Day is 66 days, and Beyonce equals 66.
Right.
From the coach of the Lakers, from his birthday to the Kobe Bryant Day is exactly 81 days. From the general manager, Rob Pelinka, from his birthday to Kobe Bryant Day is 101 days.
All right, I gotta interrupt real quick because you might confuse people calling it Kobe Bryant Day. April 1st is not Kobe Bryant Day. August 24th is, but I know why you're calling it that because it's 4-1. So
yeah, because of the 4-1. That's why.
So it's April Fool's Day. Yeah, from April, when you're saying Kobe Bryant Day, it's really April Fool's Day 4-1. But I get what you're saying. So just so people aren't confused,
Yeah,
but
from 4-1.
let me just add something in before you go further. This 4-1 thing. I see something huge about that day right away. The Lakers are playing the Pacers, and Indiana Pacers is 114 like LeBron James, and LeBron has so many rituals in his career against the Pacers, so I don't find it any accident that LeBron's facing the Pacers on 4-1. And then I'm also noticing that day the Bucks play the defending champions, the Raptors. But okay, go ahead.
Yes, and from Beyonce's mother's birthday, which is 1/4 to 4/1, is 89 days, the 24th prime number.
There we go.
That is right, 89 is the 24th prime.
King James is also 89. Yeah, 89 is the 24th prime. That's right.
And from Kanye West's birthday to Beyonce's birthday, which is 6/8 to 9/4, is a span of 89 days, the 24th prime.
Okay.
And from Kanye West's birthday to Beyonce's mom's birthday is 157 days.
Huh. Okay.
Yep, and from Kanye West's birthday to LeBron's mom's birthday, which is 2/4, is 126 days.
Huh. Okay.
And from Kanye's birthday to LeBron James's birthday is 161 days.
Huh.
And that's all I got for 4-1.
Okay.
Now for the start of the NBA Finals, 6-4, from the start of the NBA Finals to Kobe's birthday, 6-4 to 8/23 is 81 days. From the start of the finals to LeBron's mother's birthday is 4 months and 1 day. From Beyonce's birthday to the start of the finals is 92 days. Joel Embiid's birthday to the start of the finals is 81 days. That's 3/16 to 6/4 is 81 days.
Okay.
From Joel Embiid's birthday to Kobe's birthday is 161 days. Joel Embiid's full name, how do you say his middle name? I know you probably have it.
Joel Embiid's?
Yeah, his middle name.
I didn't even have to look up what it is. I'm not even sure what it is off the top of my head. Hold on. And plus, I can't pronounce anybody's name right anyway. Hans?
Yeah. Joel Hans Embiid equals 126.
Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yep, and in full reduction, it's 81.
Okay, Kobe numbers. Okay.
And when I was looking at Joel Embiid, I noticed that, he went to Kansas.
Sure.
And from the Kansas championship 6-4, not 6-4, but 4-6, to Joel Embiid's birthday is exactly 21 days. And from Kansas's coach, from his birthday to the college championship is 101 days.
Huh.
And the Kansas coach birthday to Joel Embiid's birthday is 81 days.
Huh.
And then I looked at the owner of the Lakers, Janine Buss. Is that how you say it, Janae Buss?
Janine Buss? Okay.
Yeah, Janine Buss. She's 58 years old, and from the start of the finals till her birthday is 114 days.
Huh.
And LeBron James is,
114, right?
114.
Yeah. Lakers look super golden to be in the finals.
Yep, and so I have a date that, because, the finals start 6-4, but I think I know what day it's going to end to.
Okay.
I got 6-15 for a date for it to end, because 6-15 has date numerology of 41. 6 plus 15 plus 20.
It also has 61 date numerology and finals equals 61, so okay.
And Philadelphia, 61.
There you go. Okay.
Yes, and so from that date till Shaq's birthday, 6-15 till Shaq's birthday is 101 days. From 6-15 to LeBron's birthday is 21 weeks on the nose.
Okay, Lakers 21.
From that date, 6-15 to Beyonce's birthday is exactly 81 days.
Is that game 5?
That's game 5.
Yeah, I could see that this year. 4-1. That makes a lot of sense with Kobe Bryant.
Yep, and then from 4-1, which is, April Fool's, to 6-15 is exactly 76 days. From Vanessa Bryant's birthday to 6-15 is 41 days. From Joel Embiid's birthday to 6-15 is 92 days.
92, okay.
Yes, and from Janae Buss's birthday till Kobe's death is 8 months and 1 day.
Huh, very interesting. So it sounds like you like a Lakers-Philly championship.
That's just from what I saw a couple of days ago. I liked it, the Milwaukee.
Well,
and from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's birthday till the start of the finals in 61 days. Right.
That's interesting. I did say at the beginning of the year, if it wasn't Lakers-Bucks, it probably would be Lakers and Philly. And again, the opening night of the NBA season, the TNT crew, every single one of those guys picked the finals to be Lakers-Philly. It's possible because that is Kobe's city. So we'll have to look at it. But, man, that Milwaukee shooting is perfectly synced with the finals. And but, yeah, I hear you, man. You did a great job there. So...
Yeah, we'll just have to see. But I think I got the Lakers pegged at either 60 wins or 66 wins.
Check this out. I'm pretty sure in the Lakers' next 18 games, they'll go 14-4. I'm pretty sure the Lakers pick up their 58th win of the season in that Kobe Bryant game on 4-1, because Kobe Bryant's 41-58, and Los Angeles Lakers is 58, and LA's 41. I could totally see the Lakers getting their 58th win of the season in this 4-1 game right here.
Yeah, right.
I would bet on that the Lakers get their 58th win in this game. So that they have to go 14-4 in their next 18 games, which is totally doable. I'm looking at their schedule. I'm thinking, yeah, probably one of the toughest games in that schedule is at the Raptors. Maybe they lose that one. I'm looking at almost every game here. I'm thinking, yeah, they can win most of these games easy. So, yeah.
Yep, and what's so funny, when I looked at it, I was just like, if it does end up being, if they do win 66 games, then that'll fit in with it being, 66 days from Kobe Bryant dying.
Right.
But if they play if it is the 76ers, I like them going in with 60 wins, because if they win
16, postseason wins, that'll be 76 wins.
Sure.
But if they win 66, that'll be 92 games that the Lakers have played in all. Which I like that 92 from, Beyonce's birthday to Jay-Z, then 4-1, the 92nd day of the year.
I'll tell you what. If the series is Lakers and Philly, I'll like the Lakers in a big way to win that series. The only team I would really worry about if the Lakers faced them losing the finals is Milwaukee, just because Milwaukee and Los Angeles are both 37, and LeBron could fall to 3-7 in finals. But the fact that the finals start on June 4th, which can be written 4-6, that's a good sign that LeBron becomes 4-6 in finals. For people who don't know, in the King James Bible, Psalm 46, the 46th word from the front is shake, and the 46th word from the back is spear. And a lot of people think that Francis Bacon, King James's right-hand man, was really the same person that Shakespeare. But that is a big number with the King James Bible that people know about, 46. So LeBron getting to 4-6 in finals being King James would make a ton of sense. And then you know what else is if it did end up being Philadelphia instead of the Bucks, again, the King James Bible came out in 1611, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania equals 16 and 11 in Jewish gematria, just like that Kobe cartoon, Chamberlain Heights, came out on November 16th, 1611. So that's the reason I would cheer for a Lakers-Philly finals, because then I think it'd be really easy to see that LeBron would win the finals. Milwaukee would be a tougher call who would win that series. I think that's the only team in the East that would beat the Lakers potentially. But, yeah, you did a great job with that decode, so I'll look at it some more.
Oh, yeah.
Got anything else?
And the Western Conference is on 32 championships right now, so if they win the next one, that'll be their 33rd championship.
Oh, the Western Conference would win their 33rd championship this year?
Yep, they're on 32 championships.
I didn't realize that. Okay, that was something that I needed to look up. Are you sure about that?
100% positive.
Okay, so how many do the East have then? 41?
39.
Wait.
Nah, the East has 38.
Wait, how can that be if it's the 74th NBA season? Oh, maybe they didn't. Maybe in the early years they were just all one league and they didn't have conferences. But okay,
because
Go ahead.
Another thing, when I was looking it up, the 76ers had a different name. They were like the Syracuse National.
Right, that's true.
And their full record in the finals is 3-6. So if they lose, then if they go and lose, they'll be 3-7.
That would be great. Los Angeles 37, Bryant 37, Kobe Bryant 157, the 37th prime. Okay.
Yep. So I mean, that's why I liked it. But I liked it Milwaukee too. But after I seen that, and then Joel Embiid, and I was just like, well, that'll be the perfect Kobe Bryant tribute.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There won't be no perfect in that. But, that's, it's a what if until the 76ers make it.
Right.
But I like it a lot. And I was like Bucks at first. I was sold on the Bucks, but the 76ers look pretty good.
Okay.
Especially if they win 58 games. But, that's all I had.
Well,
now.
Right, those are the types of things we'll pay attention to at the end of the season. But if anyone can put in a bet on the Lakers picking up their 58th win on April 1st, I would do that. I think that's going to happen. So,
I think they're golden for the finals too.
Oh, again, the finals start 157 days after LeBron's birthday. I don't think there's any chance they miss it. So.
Yeah, and it's like you said, like a year ago. Or was it a year and a half ago when you pegged that LeBron was going to get a ring in his 17th season?
That's this year. And he joined the Lakers on July 1st, 1-7, and he can get the Lakers their 17th championship this year. So, yeah.
Yep, and then 17 as a word is 33, if I'm not mistaken.
Say it again?
17 as a word is 33, if I'm not mistaken.
You mean if you write it out?
Yeah, if you write it out as a word.
I don't know. Let me check. 17. Whoops.
Yes, I think it's 33.
I see 37.
37, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. But
So 17 and then they'll fall to 3 and 7 if it does end up being 76ers and Lakers.
okay.
But, yeah, I'm going to keep on, doing stuff. But, I just felt like you need to hear that.
All right. I appreciate it, man.
All
All right.
Well,
Take care.
Good, my friend.
All right, have a good night. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't forgotten the night that they opened up the NBA season. Every TNT guy said it was going to be Lakers and 76ers, every single guy at that table. And it's possible that obviously that would be a clear Kobe tribute, but I can also see it with Lakers and Bucks because, again, it was about points and Abdul-Jabbar, the all-time points leader, played for the Lakers and Bucks, and Abdul-Jabbar's 74th NBA season. So once the tournament's over, we'll go full board on the NBA, and I'll keep watching. So I'm trying to pay attention to as much, but also with all my free time, just trying to finish up the book right now. So if nobody else has to call in tonight, we can leave it there, and then we'll again do our next live stream Sunday at noon. But again, I do think we have some very strong reads with Oregon women's team, Kansas being in the men's championship, and then we know the strongest narratives in the men's that probably Final Four teams. Let's take one last call from Atlanta. That seems fitting, and then we'll re-meet Sunday. What's up, caller?
Yo, Zach.
Hey,
Love
man.
your work, man. Did you see the whole story about LeBron eating red vines after the game the other day?
He was eating what?
Red vines, like
Oh,
Twizzlers?
like licorice? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So red vines matches February in all four of the main ciphers.
Huh.
I did a little bit of date calculations for 131, subtracting 131 months, days, and weeks backwards from the championship 4-6. And then I looked up the resulting dates on ESPN's news archives, and I found some pretty interesting information. So from 131 days back is the day that Kansas beat Dayton in overtime for the Maui title. That was in Lahaina, Hawaii. And Lahaina equals 46 English ordinal. So I feel like that's a good sign for Kansas, maybe even Dayton too.
That's an interesting read. Okay, yeah, good observation.
Okay, let's see, 131 weeks. There was a lot of interesting. That was back to 10/2, October 7, 2017. There's a lot of articles that day about Louisville. That was when Rick Pitino was getting fired. There's an article, October 2nd, Louisville board votes unanimously to start Rick Pitino termination process.
Huh.
And I'm not sure if you recall, but that was due to him, them paying players. And one of the main player that they got busted for, his name is Brian Bowen Jr. Brian Bowen Jr. equals 131, my championship, like Atlanta, Georgia.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and then the last one, this is kind of weird. It was 131 months. That's back to May 6, 2009. There's an article about Hal Perry. He actually died a few days earlier, but they, of course, they wrote the article on this specific day. Hal Perry, who teamed with Bill Russell and KC, like Kansas City, KC Jones, on San Francisco's back-to-back NCAA champions in the 1950s, has died. He was 75. So I thought that was really weird as well.
75,
so obviously,
okay.
131. It was like Super Bowl, and you see the KC in San Francisco in there. So that's still time, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's all I got. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
great research. Keep it up.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, take care, man. See you. Okay. It doesn't look like LeBron's enjoying those red vines. Let me see. Did you guys see the, I'm sure you saw this, the thing about, the meme about this game, LeBron and Zion? Zion's 19, LeBron's 35. They combined for 69 points. Kobe, when he was 19, played Michael Jordan at age 35, and they combined for 69 points. And then I love that the Lakers got their 44th win in that game. Just because Zion equals 44. Remember when Zion made his debut, the Pelicans had already played 44 games. They were 17-27. So Zion played his first game, which was their 45th game of the season in New Orleans, is 45. That was on January 22nd. He scored 22, basketball 22, 17 straight in the fourth quarter. Zion 17 the small way. Anyway, we'll leave it there, you guys. No, we won't. We're going to take one more call. What's up, Victor?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Hey, man.
How you been?
Doing all right, thank you.
Oh, okay, that's good. Glad to hear it. I just wanted to add about that Philly and that Lakers thing, because I've been saying like that for a while.
You have.
The 76ers also changed their name from the Nationals to the 76ers in 1963.
Wait. They changed their name from what?
The Nationals to the 76ers?
I didn't know that. So, okay, like the baseball team.
Yeah, in 1963, the same year Michael Jordan was born.
Ah. And he just turned 57.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a good observation. Okay.
I knew you'd find that interesting, but yeah, just I know you like that Milwaukee thing. I just don't think they're gonna win until they get in that new arena. Just by how they play those tricks, they got to get their money back once they get them over there.
Well, if they win, then it gets then the season will sell out. They'll sell out all their tickets. So it's just like the Warriors, man. The Warriors, now that they got the new stadium, now they're just garbage.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But I hear what you're saying. I'll tell you what. Personally, I would like to see the Lakers play the 76ers a lot more than I would like to see the Lakers play the Bucks, because if it's Lakers and Bucks, I'm going to be torn on who's going to win that finals unless something happens between now and then. But Lakers and 76ers, I think the Lakers win that all day, and they probably do win it in Game 5. I think that would be easy money to take the Lakers in Game 5 in that series.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to speak too much about it, because everybody's listening. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be some money to be made there.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, have a good one, Zach.
All right, appreciate it, Victor. Take care, man. All right, we will leave it there. Sunday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Remember, I'm a West Coast guy, so I always say my time first. Noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you then. Have a good night.